After yesterday's 2-0 win at home against Sheffield United, we find ourselves back in 10th place, but still 4 points off 9th. We still have a long way to go, but listen, outside of the context of this whole season, I'd like to discuss things that went right or wrong, and I feel like I have to discuss them. So my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button, share your thoughts and opinions, and without wasting any more time, let's start things off by discussing one of the impressive players in yesterday's game, and that was Badiashile. Now, was this the easiest game he's probably played this season? Most likely. I mean, come on. If you're not going to pressure the centre-backs, if you're going to afford them the time and space on the ball to play out from the back, pick the passes they want, then you're asking for trouble. And obviously, you're going to make Benoit's life a lot easier, and I think he had a lot of fun yesterday against Sheffield United. 142 touches off the ball, 92% pass completion, 5 out of 7 long passes played as well too, and on a few occasions he was carrying that ball very well up the field. I think Rudiger and Luiz would have been proud of how he was carrying. So I think it's right for us to analyse how his game went down against Sheffield United. Now Benoit, his personality, he's one of those guys where, he's quite reserved, but he focuses and he only cares about the football. But here, one of my favourite moments of the game yesterday, I mean, look at the way the guy's gliding on the ball. Let me see that again one more time. Like the poise, the elegance, look. Like he deads the ball with his right foot. He's getting ready to lure McBurney to press him on the right hand side so he can then skip past him on the left. As you can see here, boom, easily shifts away, beats the press. And listen, on a completely, different type of conversation right now, I've always kind of felt like in football, probably the worst defenders in the game are your strikers up front, right? And if more defenders had the ability to beat their man 1v1, to carry the ball up the field, that could have a very transformational effect on the game, right? And listen, I'm going off tangent a little bit, but when I'm seeing this type of play from Benoit, it gets me thinking about the future. Anyway, look, the poise, the elegance, look, the acceleration, beating 2-3 players he's taken out the game. Ideally, I wish that he looked to find Nicholas Jackson a lot earlier. I feel like we love to sign strikers that play on the shoulder, play on the last lines, yet we never look to release the ball in front early enough to find them. I think Jackson did the right thing there. It's a shame that Benoit couldn't find him because he overcarried it then, and then he played the wrong pass to Mudryk. So listen, he showed what he can do, but the execution in that moment wasn't necessarily perfect. And I kind of felt for Nico because, look, one more time, Nico finds himself between Ahmed and the centre-back right here. And I wish Benoit's action was so he could release Nicholas right here in this moment. You see what I mean? He's onside. It's an opportunity through on goal, but Benoit carried it too much and then, look, gets caught in Mudryk's feet then. So, it goes to show that, listen, the guy's a super talent, and as he gets better over the years, those types of actions are going to lead towards more chance creations. That's as simple as that, really. But anyway, Benoit, this was another very silky, elegant moment of the game. The little scorpion kick away from McBurney easily has the advantage against him. And look at that little Scorpio kick, bro. Look at that. Over the top. And then, listen, even if he didn't mean that, which I think he probably did, look, just easily, the composure, just plays a calm pass towards Caicedo and acts like he did absolutely nothing. But see, carrying up the fields, he finds Cole. Line breaking pass between the lines, took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sheffield United players then. I think Cole Palmer didn't do well in terms of how he controlled that pass. Come on, he should have brought it out to the other side. Nice little half turn to the opposite direction. I think the body positioning wasn't perfect, and of course he got intercepted then. Look, you want to give him time and space to play passes like this, you're making a mistake. A nice, beautiful, delicate switch ball then to find Raheem Sterling. Easy to bring down and control then. One of the good things about our game yesterday was that, playing against a team that aren't going to really press us or do nothing in possession, so we need the back line to be past the halfway line. We must squeeze the opposition. We must shorten the distances between our players so they can pass the ball to each other and find the opportunities to break them down. I think we did that well in that sense, but just the execution of our attack in general in the first half weren't good enough. But nice little ball over the top to find Mudryk. I feel like Mudryk has the pace, man, but he should be regularly looking to encourage that passing behind by making that run. I mean, this guy carries and steps up I'm not going to lie, like, he looks like he's a midfield player, right? You know, I think that's the future of the game, where they produce, like, at the highest level, midfielder, like, centre-backs. Too composed, too easy for him. It's nice that he's back. Spectacular business to sign him. Look, perfectly weighted pass between the lines then, found Caicedo. First time ball out wide to find Disasi. And that's what you want him to do in the Premier League, you know? Like, the only outlet Sheffield United had was going to be those balls over the top. You got big boy Benoit there to win those aerial duels. He's always first, like literally 8 times out of 10. And this is what you need from your defenders in the Premier League. Time and space. Of course, I'll carry the ball forward then. If you're going to do that, calm. I'm carrying that ball forwards. Not only can he defend aerially, but the guy's footwork on the ground too is clear. So that was Benoit Badiashile. How did you guys find him? Let's now move on to the next thing we learned. So now let's discuss Cole, Jermaine, soon come Palmer, and that second half showing against Sheffield United. Because once he was unlocked in the second half, it changed our whole fortunes in the game, and that's how we actually went on to win things. So yesterday, listen, nice creative performance where he's offering the goal, he's offering the assist. 59 out of 64 passes, 92 pass completion rate, 2 key passes played, 2 big chances made. Let's focus on his positive second half against Sheffield United. First half, he was pretty quiet. I felt like the positions he was picking up weren't always conducive to helping the team push forward at times. You know, he tried to, like, you know, this is the position he wants to pick up in, right? That right channel where you can, like, you know, receive on a stronger foot. The whole pitch is open up on that left side. That's how he wants to play. But I think this is a good example of the type of service that Palmer was lacking. And I think that was having no one on that right-hand side making those overlapping runs in behind. A lot of times, this is where we're seeing Cole Palmer's creativity. When he's playing those balls first time in front for someone to run onto. Listen, Disasi's not here in this moment. You know, Raheem Sterling is isolated by himself. 2v1s against him throughout the entire game. And this is where I felt like we definitely struggled in terms of finding solutions against Sheffield United. But listen, it didn't really help Palmer that much. Look right here, you know, him and Sterling. Outside of that, it's like, what, 4 Sheffield United players, and they have D'Souza here in the yellow hair that's getting ready to make interceptions and protect the spaces here. So we're getting outmanned time and time again. Listen, Palmer's trying to find Raheem Sterling to make that run in behind, but it gets closed off right here. But again, I thought that was a nice little decoy run by Palmer. You know, a little pauser. He stops to get ready to engage in another 1-2 with Raheem Sterling. And of course, he has the deftness of touch then to find him with his weaker foot in behind. He comes a bit deeper here. See, if you see the little pause here, his first instinct would have been to play that pass straight away to Disasi. You know, he's hoping someone can make that run in the space here on the right hand side so he can play a ball over the top. That's what we've seen a lot of from Palmer throughout this season. So, you know, not having a natural fullback doesn't help. So it forced Palmer to have to play the ball wide then to find Mudryk. Wasn't necessarily the best cross-field pass, a bit overhit. Again, that's the pass he's trying to make, that ball in behind. There weren't many opportunities to do that throughout the game, but now we're about to see him in the second half where he was pushed more to the right-hand side. But this was nice little lovely skill from Palmer. You know, he can run over distances, but he has the close footwork and control to try and, you know, fashion a shooting opportunity for himself. I mean, I think Mahrez would have been very pleased with this type of action from him. Look, it's on the instep. Nice little step over, dummy to shift away, to try and move the defender one way. And the cut inside right there, perfectly timed. And again, he couldn't take out his feet quickly enough to hit it with his right foot. But, you know, once I saw that action in the second half, I was like, okay, it looks like we're going to come to life now, because this action wasn't possible in the first half. But no, nice little replay action of that moment. Very well done. But see, Palmer here. Listen, in my opinion, I think there was an opportunity here to play a Nicholas Jackson. You know, Nico will get criticism for his movement, but as you guys have seen, there were 2 occasions here where he did the right action, but didn't get rewarded with the service. But, you know, it was okay in the end. You know, the second option by Cole Palmer was the one that worked for us the most. And this is where Palmer gets a lot of credit for getting us the first goal in this game. Now, as you can see here, plays the pass to Raheem Sterling. Look at Cole Palmer right there. You know, he's on the blind sides of the defenders. All the Sheffield United players are ball watching right now. They think they have the spaces covered. Look, you can see the hand actions of their two defenders telling each other where Nicholas Jackson is, and the midfield player here in McAtee hasn't even noticed Cole Palmer. So it was a nice play from Jackson to occupy the Sheffield United defenders, because there's an ocean of space right here, and Cole Palmer doesn't stop. Like when he passes, he looks to move straight away. He explodes into the space right here, busting a gut, and then of course he's there attacking the ball at the near post. He makes a 1-0, and basically he kickstarts a move and he scores that. Kickstarts a move and gets on the end of that. Right here too on the right hand side, balls in behind, more options are opening up, as you're bound to see now. See what I mean? We're seeing more third man runs in behind on that right hand side, with Cole Palmer, of course, you know, being allowed to play the passes that he wants to make. That's it. Now, this is why I admit that I'm just a YouTuber at times, because again, like for this action here, once you cut inside, open your body up and take a quick shot. You know, for example, like a Mohamed Kudus, he scored today against Wolves, doing the type of action that I think Palmer can definitely demonstrate a lot more of as he gets older, as he improves naturally. But the option was there for him to quickly cut inside and take a shot then. But his other actions also bring, you know, good factors for the team. Pass finds Sterling, a bit of fortune there between him and Gallagher. Probably his easiest assists of this whole season, but you know, they count. And obviously, again, another involvement in this game. Right hand side, look, more options on the right hand side. Nice little half turn by Broja. See, simple stuff like this, the game opened up a lot more, and Palmer's passing was making a lot more sense. So the tweak to move Palmer on the right, Sterling up front, and become like a 4-4-2 worked. And listen, Broja, this was a poor miss. This was definitely a poor miss. It denied Palmer his second assist of the game. How was that not converted? It's still pretty crazy, in my opinion. But Cole Palmer there, look, runs being made for him. He can drift inside. He's looking to play the right pass. Makes one man. Not the best free kick. He went for a placement over power. But, you know, I look at those little small mistakes and I think, listen, in 2-3 years' time, this guy's going to be rifling that into the top bins. He's going to be taking these shots quicker. He'll show more confidence in taking shots for himself instead of releasing balls to his teammate. All this will come over time. So that was Cole Palmer's spectacular second half against Sheffield United. And now let's end things by discussing two more impressive players. And they are Conor Gallagher and Moises Caicedo. Now, in yesterday's game, these guys absolutely dominated midfield. Naturally, they had to, you know, Caicedo's role was to sit back a bit deeper to maybe, you know, get the tempo going. And Gallagher played more of a box-to-box role. I think this is reflected in the heat maps we're seeing from both of these guys on screen right now. And, you know, I think when you combine the heat maps together, it does equate to this very balanced midfield that we did see against Sheffield United last night. And when you have this type of energy, when you're winning this amount of tackles, when you've got Gallagher who's looking to play on the half turn, you know, he's looking to play, you know, plays with great tempo, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches max, and always looks to get us forward. But in terms of stats, of course, Conor had 112 touches of the ball, 99% pass completion rate, 86 out of 87 passes played. That tells everything you need to know about his aptitude in the game, you know, his movement, how he's receiving these passes, how he's looking to push us forward. What I'm seeing from Conor this season reminds me of what I saw from Ballack. Now, let me explain this before you guys, you know, get my opinion the wrong way. Listen, when Ballack was at Chelsea Football Club, he wasn't allowed to be the Michael Ballack that he was at Bayern Munich. I only ever saw that Bayern Munich Ballack, but Lampard had that injury during that season, and Ballack had like a 1-2 scoring rate, and he was just absolutely ridiculous during that period. But, you know, Ballack was a great team player, and he understood, listen, you know, for me to be successful at this new club, me and Lampard, we can't be the same player because it won't work in midfield. So what Ballack was, you know, he had an incredible engine, and he was this constant support for every player across the whole team. You know, he was covering every blade of grass. You know, he was always that third man option to release the ball to. He would make a run in behind to, you know, for a teammate to release the ball to someone else. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it perfectly, I know, but it really helped us during that time. And in a sense, it was like tactical glue, because you need that type of teamwork to really make the whole team work and play together. And I think this is what I see from Conor Gallagher in that instance, where, you know, the endeavor, the ground he's covering, you know, look at the heat maps, sum it up, my guys. You know, this is a guy that, you know, has made himself probably one of our key players this season. It's not because of Pochettino's football, it's because of Conor Gallagher stepping up and showing what he can do and bring to the team. And honestly, the things he's bringing are things we aren't seeing from Enzo or Caicedo. Let's not act like the game is that predictable where it can only accommodate players who play with like fancy skills or technique or one-touch passes. No, you know, a lot of times it's about how you take control of circumstances that happen in game. And Conor's one of those guys where, listen, if it's a 50-50, you have confidence that he wins that. If there's a possibility to win a pressure up the field, Conor Gallagher is going to be there, taking control of that situation, winning the ball and releasing one of his teammates, yeah? He's someone that affects the game in those aspects, and these players are important for the sake of the team because they're the ones that help bring that balance. This is why when people praise Conor Gallagher, they're praising him for those important metrics. It's not always about getting praise for being skillful on the ball or doing something that's going to look good on Twitter comments. Like, you have to be more sophisticated than that. And I think Conor Gallagher yesterday is a standard performance for him, and it demonstrates what he's been doing for us throughout this entire season in terms of the importance behind what he's bringing to our team currently. And I'm sorry, you know, 5 interceptions. You know, how many counter presses was this guy making? Listen, I think if you're someone that is still having judgment and reservations around Conor, I think it's time to maybe reconsider and kind of revamp your ideas around the player. And for the final player, of course, let's discuss Caicedo's game in greater detail. Now, one thing that I've been impressed with Caicedo recently is he's playing at a very quick tempo, one touch, two touch. You know, Caicedo isn't just a Kante clone. I think it's a very lazy comparison. He can do a lot more. I'm very curious to see his evolution as he, you know, plays more games over the years at this football club. You know, is he going to be necessarily deeper? Will he be more advanced? I think time will tell. But he offers a great platform with his one-touch passing in terms of just keeping that tempo going. He's demonstrating this a lot more now. Nice way he receives. Listen, you're going to give him time and space. He'll pick out a pass easily. He finds Cole Palmer there. That's it. Plays the pass back. And then here's what he does here. Here's a little like smart thing from Caicedo, you know. It looks like any pass backwards right here. He does a little dummy. He pretends that he might be making a run to the left-hand side to try and fool his marker. But then he quickly darts back to receive the ball. Why? Because he wants to draw out his marker. He wants to bring his marker closer to our defense to open up the spaces behind. That's like an idea of the intelligence behind what these guys have to do in terms of the system and their roles. And look right here. He brought out his marker all the way to our halfway line. And this is what Caicedo has in this game, that ability to switch the ball using his weaker foot to find someone wide. And look, took out 3 players in the press then, and he's created a move forward. And that's what Caicedo can do. That is like Brian Caicedo. So it's nice to see that I'm seeing more of this Caicedo slowly coming back. I understand the pre-season, the injuries, it's not being ideal, but this is why I've been very patient and not angry with his performances, because I know that this guy just needs a bit more time to get back to what he does best. It was nice to see him like venture forward a lot more. Great interception and tackle there to push us up the field. Great idea to find Nicholas Jackson first time. Very unfortunate that was overhit just a tiny bit, but that was very good play from Caicedo in that moment. Shields the ball very well. Nice little footwork there. Plays a pass outside of his boot. And that's it right there. You know, playing teammates forward, releasing the ball early. Not wasting time. Nice switch ball then to find Conor wide. And again, that was a second half change of Conor supporting the right hand side. So we don't have to rely upon Disasi having to start playing like Ivanovic on the right hand side. So I think Caicedo, you know, Everton, you know, Sheffield United, is 2 good games in succession. And listen, this guy is our record buy. There's big hopes around him. We sacrificed Kante early for a reason. So, you know, I've been waiting for him to start to show what he can really do now. And hopefully this is a great idea of what is to come now for the rest of this season now from Caicedo. That's it. Moves by to receive. Body in front of his man. And listen, to play over 100 passes, you know, I think he had like an 88% pass completion rate. Looking to play forward, not just like safe sideways passes, you know. It was a very, very good showing for himself, and one of his best showings so far this season. Listen, Sheffield United is a very easy game, but I have to praise in context of how his season's going, and I'm hoping this is a positive sign of more things to come. So my friends, on that note, they are the 4 things we learned against Sheffield United. Share your thoughts and opinions. How do you feel about things? Let me know below. And on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more videos. Cool.